Ed Nightingale.
Biggest Bennett.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well. Here we've got Resident Evil Village, and this is the first ever joint quick look we've done.
It is.
Yeah, this is going to be a quick look of Resident Evil Village. Both of us have finished this, but it's going to be a spoiler-free kind of. I mean, the stuff we've got here is in like the first hour, so that's as much as you're going to get when it comes to spoilers. But yeah,
just a little bit of spookiness.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, this is Resident Evil Village. I'm enjoying it, and I'm still, when I went back and recorded this footage, I actually was like, you know what, I really enjoy this game, and
I really want to play it again. I feel like I rushed through it so quickly that I would really like to play through it again and just focus on just enjoying it rather than rushing through.
Oh, I guess you finished it for your review.
I did. I played through it. I think it took about 8 hours, and it was over 2 evenings that I just rushed through it. So, but now watching so many other streamers play it and everyone else playing it, it's really fun knowing what happens and then going back and playing through the beginning again, seeing other people's reactions to jump scares and story moments, and it's actually really fun.
Yeah, and this bit is, like I said, right, really quite near the beginning. As you can see, you're in the village. In the Resident Evil Village. We're just wandering around. In this quick look, I've pre-recorded this video. You'll probably get a bit frustrated at me because I do get lost.
Good. Good. And nothing like Ben getting lost.
At least you get to see like a full kind of, you get to really experience the map as I'm wandering around here. Good. Not quite sure where to go or what to do.
So where are we at the moment?
This is, I believe that was the church, or it was the church that we started. No, the church is up there. There we go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, up there is the church. This is like, a rundown village. Everybody is either a zombie or a lichen. Is it lichen? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is either a lichen or, there are a few people around who aren't. And that's another thing I liked about this. Like in Resident Evil 7, you were completely alone. Like there was nobody on your side other than your wife. And in this one, there are other people around. It's very much like a Resident Evil 4 kind of, you're in the village. There are lots of other people around. It's a lot more action-oriented.
There are survivors, but will they survive? That's a question.
That is a question, yeah. And do you see the little shadow there in the grass?
Yeah, I love how you can't see and you're like, something's going to jump out at me at every single step.
You know it, yeah. I'm also recording this on the PS5 as well, which ran very smoothly, apart from a couple of areas, which was a little bit, dropped a few frames. It wasn't quite the 60 FPS I was wanting.
The game does look great on the new console. Like, it's a very, very good looking game.
Yeah, apparently it's sold more on PS. I read something like sold more on PS5 than PS4.
Oh.
In physical copies.
It's also had a record first weekend on PC.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Yeah, apparently it's sold. Although I saw somebody tweeting saying like, "Oh, it's a lot worse than the Resident Evil 7 launch," but they were just the physical copies, like the physical numbers.
Ah, okay.
And I mean, there's a reason why not many people are buying physical right now or going into the shops.
Exactly.
Whoa.
So here are two of the survivors.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Are we going to find out what happens to them?
We'll see. Yeah, we will. So yeah, this is a little spoilery.
They're all in Louise's house.
But it's only what? You're like an hour into the game at this point, I think?
Yeah. Yeah, this is really near the beginning, and there's an old dude and his daughter. But yeah, it just looks like it's just a stunning game. What did you think when you first started playing it?
I was hooked from the very beginning. I have a real thing for gothic horror, for vampires, werewolves, Frankenstein, and I love how it has this really haunting atmosphere, and it really leans into that gothic tone, but in quite a campy way, especially with Lady Dimitrescu and the castle.
We will see her a bit later.
Oh, excellent.
Of course. Yeah, I couldn't do a quick look without seeing her.
Oh, of course. We do love the tall vampire lady.
Now, we're speaking as... We can't really talk about the difficulty settings because both of us finished this on easy mode, didn't we, Ed?
We did, just to rush through it and experience it. But I've seen people play on standard and realise that it doesn't have auto-targeting, so
Oh.
I can see why it's a little more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I had auto-targeting, and I still had issues with some bullets a bit later on. I do like this, though. So when you craft this time, you don't need to kind of know the recipes yourself. You can just craft. You can choose what you want, and they will craft it for you.
And it's great as well that all your crafting stuff and your key items are all stored separately, so you don't have to worry so much about item management.
That's true. And just like Dark Souls and pretty much every other Resident Evil, you can, you open shortcuts to get through areas. And also, similar to Resident Evil 2 Remake, which I loved, when they added the map, and it tells you it's red, and if you found everything that's to be found in that room, it'll go blue.
Yes.
And just like that, and it'll also tell you like where the specific keys are that you need to lock. So like, if you get to a door that you can't open because it's got a specific type of lock, as long as you found, as long as you've like tried to open that door, in future it will have the little symbol on the map and say, okay, this is, you know, the Lady Dimitrescu key that you need.
Yeah. I do wish there were a few more puzzles. I think it has a decent balance between puzzles and action, in that it's balancing sort of the puzzly mansion vibe of 1 with the action of 4. But I feel like the earlier sections are much more puzzly, and then it becomes more action later. And I sort of wish it had been a bit more blended throughout, maybe.
It is very action, especially later on. Like, I'm not going to spoil it, but in a Resident Evil game, like quite often the second half goes a little bit weird and actiony. And this one, it doesn't hide it at all. It definitely leans into it and is like, you know what? Yes, we are. And yeah, it doesn't try to disguise it behind, oh, we're going to do a little bit of puzzles. No.
Yeah. I think for me, I found the game ultimately to be like a celebration of the series. It's kind of like a best bits of 1 and 4 and bits of 2 and a lot of 7. And it's nice having all those bits together, but it's sort of the best and the worst, and that it fails a little bit on the usual Resident Evil things, like having a slightly weaker second half. But it also has some really amazing moments in this, like some iconic moments that are amongst the best of the series, I think.
Yeah, and you thought the second half was weaker. The thing is, I was totally ready for a change in, pace, and it arrived just in time for me. I just felt like it was, like the pace changed just at the right moment. Obviously, yeah, it's very kind of gothic horror, and if they'd done a gothic horror gothic horror game with like suspense and puzzles from start to finish, it would have been great. But I'm somebody that, you know, likes a bit of a change and likes to be surprised, and this game definitely did that. And when you want to rush through it, you can rush through it.
True. I kind of wish they'd stuck with the slightly campy vibe throughout. It did get a little bit. It gets a bit more serious later, I think, but also a bit silly in typical Resident Evil fashion.
And here we go. Here's this is a Resident Evil like 7 kind of feeling. Everybody around a table. Not quite disgusting food though. Although there was a food bit earlier on.
Can we just discuss for a second the food in Resident Evil games? Like, everyone talks about the burger at the start of 2, the remake, and the food at the start of this one, like, still looks amazing. Capcom know how to make good food.
Yeah. I mean, I still can't get over the food in Final Fantasy 15. That is god tier.
That's a good looking grab.
I don't know, is there a ray tracing in this? So definitely, like, the lighting was just incredible.
Yeah, I don't know if it is ray traced, but you're right. The atmosphere of everything is just so dark and dusty and moody, which I love.
Yeah, there are quite a few screenshots I took because I was like, this is stunning. And not just like the beautiful vistas, because there are. That's something that Resident Evil 7 didn't have. There's like these giant, beautiful scenic backdrops.
Yeah, 7 was very claustrophobic, and this feels a lot more open. Like, I think my favourite moment of the entire game is right near the start, where you're walking through the snow, and then you emerge and see that vista of like the castle in the background and the village. Like, it feels to me more like Castlevania or Bloodborne, rather than Resident Evil. But I just love that gothic horror vibe. I think it completely nails that.
Because right at the beginning, right at the very, very beginning, you're kind of walking through the snow in the dark. I don't know if I did it wrong or something, or if there was a glitch. You only like using the torch for the very, very bottom of your feet.
Oh, you can't see. That's definitely on purpose.
Yeah, because you got a torch, but you don't ever lift it up. You just use it to...
Darkness, it's disorientating.
I don't know, I would just kind of lift my torch up and, and point it in front of me rather than only at my
But
feet.
you're not Ethan Winters, and he is a bit silly, let's face it.
That's true. We never see his face, do we?
We don't?
I didn't realise that until I finished it. Someone's like, so, yeah, this is what Ethan Winters looks like. And I was like, is it? I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I never actually saw.
So here we have a prayer that's definitely not going to go right.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Praying in a horror game, what could possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
Oh, what happened to that person's eye? I got like a bit of Outlast 2 vibes as well, you know. I like a good cult in a game.
Yeah. Freaky cult.
Yeah.
This is pretty culty.
Now, the tea should be ready.
And where is it actually set? Isn't it? I think it's set in Romania, right? Or Eastern Europe.
Well, we're told that they moved to Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know if they actually give a specific setting, but considering the vampire vibes, I think it's fair to say that it's going to be Eastern Europe somewhere.
In her devotion.
Apparently all the
definitely leaning into
names
that.
And I hope
are, like the names are kind of Eastern European and Romanian. Pony in the chat on Twitch said, he's like, I can't wait to hear you mispronounce all the Romanian names. Like, yeah. Like Dimitrescu, or is everybody called Dimitrescu? Oh dear, this is not going well.
It's really not gone well, has it?
She's,
We all knew he was going to turn.
yeah. Which is good, because he got bitten, didn't he? But we get bitten a few times.
Well, true.
I definitely did.
I think he was
Also,
bitten
this
a lot.
game is pretty much like what awful things can happen to Ethan Winter's arms and
I'm
well,
I mean,
hands
he
and
should
fingers.
not have fingers, arms, anything by the end of this
And
game.
I'm shooting that guy's arm as well. Such brilliant aim. He's getting very angry. But yeah, that's the guy who we saved and we brought him in, and then yeah,
This is how he repays us, by trying to eat us.
what a bastard.
Yeah.
And the shack was burnt down. I need to work out how to get back into this because yeah, there we go. He's gone. Well,
His daughter was not having it.
no,
I'm so sorry, Father.
that's it. You apologise.
That wasn't your father anymore.
It's but yeah, the shooting in the I played on easy with auto aim because, like I said, when it comes to fear, I'm okay with a scary game and being scared, but I don't add any other layers of like difficulty or stress on there.
Understandable.
Oh yeah, and they're oh yeah, I'm trying to work out whether it's the end of the cutscene or not.
I like this next bit where it's like, let's bash through this building in a truck, because that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Skip that. No, it's a surprise. Yeah, yeah, that was weird. Like, yeah, some of the choices in there, I'm not sure how it happened, but you know, it did. Here are some of the options. There isn't a load save button I found, so I had to go back to the main menu. As you can see, there's a few. You got 20. You actually have 20 different save files, and the last, like the very very end, it allows you to save it.
That loads.
Yeah, that is the PS5 loading. Probably
There you go,
1.9
in action.
seconds. And yeah,
Now, I
these
found these labyrinths really irritating.
they were weird because they weren't. So the labyrinths are like you find a ball and then you put it in and then you have to kind of navigate it to the hole, but there weren't that many traps on it. Oh, and this
No.
person, what's the name of this guy?
The Duke.
Yes, that's right, the Duke. And here you can, you buy supplies, you can upgrade your weapons, you can also sell your stuff. Like here, Crimson Glass, I
All
sell.
very Resident Evil 4. And there's lots of references in his dialogue as well. He does a lot of, what are you buying?
Yeah, right at the beginning, he's like, what are you buying? An old friend used to say that. And he's great. He's probably one of my favourite characters in this.
Yeah, he's a rare good guy.
And this is Castle Dimitrescu. We've got 4 pillars. And this is the map. So yeah, you can see where it's red. That means that there's something in there that I haven't found yet. And if it's blue, it means you've found everything in there. Which I
Now,
like.
when you first saw Lady Dimitrescu, did you immediately run up
Gorgeous.
to her to see what she'd do?
Yes. You saw this, Ed, because I streamed this. You were in the chat while I just was like, do your worst. And then it kind of got rid of a bit of the horror from me because I realized just how many hits it would take to kill me.
Yes.
I was like, well,
exactly.
okay, so that's 10 hits and I'm still not dead. Okay, I probably should have put it down to, I'll put it up to normal mode.
I think as well, like,
And you've got these beautiful vases that I'm just smashing to
smash.
find a bit of gunpowder.
rude. Very
Everywhere.
rude. I found that I actually didn't see her that often, like roaming around. I've watched other people play who have seen a lot more of her, and maybe because I was rushing, but I think when you sort of, if you know where to go and you immediately just go to the places you need to for the puzzles, she's often not there, so you actually don't see her that often. And considering she was all over the marketing, when you actually play the game, you realise, firstly, she's only in sort of the first part of it, really, but also even within that part, she's not always around that much, if depending on how you play it.
But pretty much every voice line she has is just iconic.
Oh, iconic.
Yeah.
I'm now obsessed with man blood just because that's how they say it.
Yeah. Oh, what she else? Man, not just man blood as well. She's like man thing. Was it man thing or
stupid man thing? I think.
Yeah,
that's one of the lines
all the time.
And it's just the way she she sort of licks at his blood and she sort of chews it and swills it around her mouth. It is so erotic.
Oh yeah.
In the best way.
I just think the lighting in this is stunning. Like you can see on the wood looks real. On like the banister. Here is Lady Dimitrescu's daughter.
Is this where you're shooting? I was thinking, don't waste your bullets.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realise. I think they do attack. I think you do have to shoot, don't you, to stop her from...
Well, you don't have to.
Getting close.
If you're good enough, you can... Well, we won't say how to kill them, but if you're good enough, you don't need to shoot them at this point. I remember just shouting, nope, and running.
Yeah, so, that bit there right in front where the bricks are, where you have to escape through.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't notice that and I forgot about it. So you can see me running around confused.
That's what this is, confusion.
Yeah. So the next 2 minutes of me
like that,
is me
harder.
getting confused.
That's right.
Yeah. And I ran up to this door that's covered in flies. Let's just say that's not the last time I go into that door. Confused. Yeah. But one thing as well, this is the blocking that you do in it. I don't think I blocked until like the last 2 hours of the game.
Oh, I completely forgot it existed. And I only learnt afterwards that if you block, you can then push enemies away. Completely missed that when I played through.
No idea. Yeah. Okay, this is so... Hopefully nobody's watching this expecting any gameplay. We're just talking about the game. Good gameplay. There are Twitch streamers that have got good gameplay. Not all of them.
Don't waste your shotgun ammo.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Bad times.
Well, she went away. Look at that. We lost her. But still, I totally forgot where to go. But at least we're getting a nice view of this beautiful golden corridor. It's very extravagant.
Wonderfully gilded.
Beautiful. Yeah. She is pretty horrific. But, yeah, we'll see me going into a bit of, less kind of pretty areas.
I mean, if you don't like flies in this game, you really don't want to be playing it.
I also found, I was like, here it is. Yeah. With the flies, I just felt like some of the things in this game I felt would be perfect for VR. Like, and I wonder if they ever were like contemplating putting it in VR.
Or if maybe they'll have a patch later. If they'll do a VR version of it or patch it somehow. I mean, there is the VR2 coming out, isn't there? Exactly. I got a little... There she is.
Yeah.
That's not wine.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not wine. And I love how she has to stoop to like step through the doorways.
Yeah, even though it's her castle.
Yeah, you'd think maybe she would, design the castle with the right height of doors.
Yeah, I'm guessing it wasn't originally hers. Although, well, won't spoil anything, but I can't remember, to be honest, anyway.
Yeah.
Look at these gorgeous... I just think, it's such a stunning game. It's much prettier than Resident Evil 7, and I thought that was... I'm a big fan of Resident Evil 7. I just love a haunted house. I'm not massively fond of the last few hours of it when it's not in the house.
Yes.
But
okay, hang on. How did you do those flames so quickly? That took me so many goes when I did that because I was running back and forth. It kept swinging off to the side. It took me forever.
Did you see me do this when I was streaming it? Because I found it within like a few seconds of trying it, and I think you or somebody in the chat was like, that took me a lot longer.
I think it might have been me. Oh, jump. Surprised. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was recording this. I wasn't expecting jump scares. I was like, okay, I'm not going to terrify myself. But
yeah, best not to.
Yeah. Here, get your ammo. I found as well, I got a little bit annoyed because the handgun that you get at the start. I didn't realize that it was actually a like a Resident Evil staple that you shouldn't really upgrade your handgun you get at the beginning because you'll get better ones. So I kind of pretty much fully upgraded my handgun.
Is that a staple? I upgraded it as well.
Yeah, but then you get a better one, and then you get another one that's even better.
Yep. And the
Oh,
same
so
with the
this-
shotgun as well.
I thought I'd show you what it looks like when they bite you. Just to make sure you knew what
I
it looked like.
I like as well in this, another improvement from 7, and the thing that annoyed me a bit about 7 was the lack of enemies.
Oh,
in
there's
7,
definitely not a lot of them in here.
Yeah, there's you've got your bosses, and then there's sort of only your one standard type of enemy really. Whereas in this, there is a lot more variety between these guys and the lichens and the bosses and other kind of monsters and werewolves that you fight.
You don't
so it feels
feel-
like much more of a complete world, I think.
Yeah. You don't feel hopeless in this one, whereas in 7 you are completely... You have to run, you have to escape, you have to hide, whereas this you can fight back,
Yeah. Which is nice.
which kind of takes away a bit of the horror, I think. Whereas, I don't know, I like a game where I'm feeling completely... Well, I don't actually. I hate that. That's one of the
I hate
reasons
that.
why I couldn't play Alien Isolation, because I was like, I'm just terrified. Most of the stuff I'm terrified of isn't even there. It's just fear.
Yeah.
So with this, I felt like I wasn't... It's not as scary. There are obviously jump scares and stuff, but there aren't really any kind of horrifying situations.
Yeah, there is one sequence, I think, we won't spoil it, but there's one particular sequence that if you've played you'll know what we mean, that I think is very scary and very haunting and very well done. But the rest
Oh,
of
the
the game
penis child
is,
monster.
yes.
Yeah, well, that's all we'll say.
But the rest of the game, I think, actually, I much prefer the kind of more adventure vibe of it.
Yeah.
It's much more puzzle solving, it's atmospheric but not too spooky, and it's got these amazing characters in it. I think they've done such a good job of just creating iconic characters that for me, I much prefer that over, we're going to just have loads of jump scares every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, then definitely don't do that. Got a beautiful headshot.
Oh, she did.
He did.
She gonna crumble.
Yeah. And I
I
like
love
that
that you-
because... So they appear... Oh, yeah, and you get these random things that you can
Yeah, I
then go
love
and
that you
sell at the
collect-
Duke.
You collect them and basically sell their body parts in crystal
Yeah.
form.
But then I found... Yeah, so you can see there the wind... Like, there's the wind coming through the window. Like, you can actually shoot all the windows and you can see the wind coming in.
I hadn't noticed that.
And I don't know if there's a way... I imagine if you play this on, like, extreme mode or something, that I bet you have to use those windows to kind of control those people.
Maybe.
But yeah, pretty much any room with a window, if you shoot it, you can hear the wind coming through.
The howling wind.
Yeah. But this is this is the main area. This is from the very first demo. You go around here. And
Yeah, it definitely gives me Resident Evil 1 vibes. I love this kind of creepy mansion vibe.
Yeah, you definitely have that. And yeah, here is, place the wine in the holder. It'll open up.
That's
What could
not
be behind?
wine, Ben. It's definitely blood.
But this is wine. That's wine, Sally. I feel like
And
they're
did you
very
know
good
as well, they've got all these bottles of wine, and at the very beginning of the game, there are, in the opening scenes, there's lots of bottles of wine there that sort of foreshadow what's going to happen.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
There you go. Lots of wine. Wine and wood. That's
What
this
more do you
castle-
want in a game but wine and wood?
Wine, exactly. Wine and wood. That's my Saturday nights. Oh, here.
Shall I give you the tour? No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So this
thanks.
is another daughter. It's not the same person.
Yeah, there's 3 altogether.
And yeah, here's this is pretty much when you played the demo. The very first demo isn't in the game, but you open this, and then Lady Dimitrescu pops up and then kills you. But I don't know who you played as in that. But yeah, this is the courtyard.
Well, in that demo, it's the maiden demo, and I believe that you are playing as... So when you're here, playing it in the game, you are down in the dungeon, and there are bits of writing about the girls, the maidens that have been experimented
that's
on
true,
and
yeah.
used for the wine. And I believe in the maiden demo, the idea is that you are playing as one of them trying to escape.
Nice. Oh well,
Good
this is it.
idea.
That would make sense actually. I do remember it because you are escaping, yeah, and you're reading about, And I think you read a few kind of excerpts from it, don't you?
Yeah.
From like,
everything
yeah.
just sways in the breeze. It's just, it's beautiful.
All right. Well, this was the first ever quick look we've done. This is Resident Evil Village. Go check it out. This is all recorded on the PS5, but it's on PC as well, and whatever else you want to play it on.
Highly recommended by both of us.
Yeah, I loved it. And I don't really like horror games, but I don't know. Resident Evil games scratch that itch, and this does.
Very much.
But yeah, tune in next week. We've got another quick look for another game. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Biggest Benners.
And I'm Ed Knights. Bye.